Beep, beep. We're missing the battery. What's going on, guys? My name is Komar, and today I'm going to show you how I transform my gas fireplace into this modern version of an electric fireplace that we can run all year long. Oh, let's not forget about these concrete panels. I mean, they're not concrete. They are and they're not. I'll explain all that in the video and how to install them because that part is really cool. So let's do some demo and get started. Welcome to the Komar project. This is what our fireplace looked like when we first moved in. And obviously, Honey had a different plan for it.
Hopefully lift this whole ceiling straight up so it's all open, and then you'll be able to see this fireplace going up 2 floors.
And I didn't know exactly how I was going to do that, but being the loving husband that I am, I figured I'd call in a couple of friends and remove the bedroom up above it. And then we can start removing all that brick off of the fireplace. Got it started. Let's get to work. Fireplace. See you later. Well, this is going a lot easier than I expected. I mean, it's just strapped on there with some mortar and going pretty good, right?
It's because you got a grant.
I got a grant. You know what this is gonna be? When somebody buys this house in like 40 years after I'm dead, they're gonna bust out this whole fireplace and they're gonna be like, oh my God. There's a real fireplace back there, and what kind of an idiot would cover it up? This idiot. Grant just said that I'm offending men all over the world with my sledgehammer skills, so we'll see how he does.
It's harder than I thought.
Yep, that hearth is much harder to remove than the facade, but that's expected. It's multiple courses of brick interlaced together, and we had to worry about the old gas line as well. We don't want to touch that thing until the plumber came and disconnected it. But honestly, I think it was harder for us because Grant and I are not spring chickens anymore. That hearth put up a fight, but we were able to power through it and get it all removed before our 8 p.m. bedtime. And then I can take the family out for a shopping trip. See? Come on. After making sure that the boss lady and Honey were happy with the fireplace selection I made, we got it back to the house and started figuring out how to build our wall and what recessed means.
This is going to be partially recessed into the wall. So it's 2x4, that means it's going to be partially recessed. Recessed means you can get set back to the wall. But this gets set partially back into the wall on a 2x4 to an electric fireplace.
All right, so we got our fireplace. We just took a look at all of our measurements. We kind of know what we're doing.
I don't know. I have no idea.
But our wall is going to be hitting that beam, which is 20 feet up off the floor. And we still have these bricks left over from where we demoed the original fireplace that we need to bust up. here. We'll draw this one out. Okay, now we can start building our wall that the fireplace is going to recess into. And the manufacturer did provide us with a spec sheet that included all the electrical requirements and the framing rough opening specifications for this unit. And it's pretty much all I'm worried about, making sure that the fireplace fits into our wall. So after we cut all the pieces for the bottom shelving area, we can put in our header. We're building this wall structure just like if we're building an opening for a window or a door in a house. And because I'm stacking the fireplace over an open area, this wall is going to need two headers, one for the shelving area and one for the actual fireplace. That looks good, right? That looks good for the fireplace. All right, so we got all of our pieces cut for our front wall. So we got our headers, our king studs, our cripples. The only thing that's left is to actually square this thing up and start nailing it together. Let's go. You gotta make sure you get this way. All right, guys, so last night I could not sleep a wink thinking about this fireplace and how close it is from the wall. So this bump out on the side that you see here is only 9 inches, and I think it needs a little bit more because of how big it is. So last night I brought Honey Bunny over here, and we came up with a game plan to bring it out another 2 inches, and then also add a ledge down on the bottom here where we're gonna be storing wood, just to give us a little bit more space. So today we're gonna actually mount this thing in its original place and finish building it all the way to the top. Let's go. To permanently attach the wall, I apply a heavy bead of DAP HT Max construction adhesive and shift the wall forward those 2 inches. Then I can secure it with a couple of screws on the ends where I have the subfloor. And where I have the original hard foundation, I need to pre-drill and use tap guides. Then to plumb it up, I screw in a couple of 2x4 cross braces at the top and run another block from the house framing and screw that in place as well. This is what's going to keep the wall in its permanent spot. All right, so we got our wall built, and it's set in place. It's anchored in the bottom. It's anchored from the top. We're running into a big problem. The wall is doing one of these. So what we're gonna do is take a sheet of plywood, screw it to the front, rack it to the point where it's actually square, so the 2x4s will be square, and then we can build on the backside our side 2x4 walls, and that should keep it from ever moving again. the return walls, I basically built a skinny ladder off camera and hammered it into place before screwing it into the house and also to our front wall. Then I nailed in a couple of blocking pieces to help extend our wall up and got a happy visitor who wanted to check on the progress. What's up, Shotty? Welcome home! Where are you going? Where's your room? Let's see your room. Come on, show us your room. Oh, you got to duck under that thing to get to your room? What do you think?
It's great.
Guess what?
What?
You're gonna have a motion sensor into your closet, so no switch.
What if it doesn't turn on?
It's gonna turn on.
What if it just doesn't turn on? What do I do?
It's gonna turn on.
I hope so.
If it doesn't turn on, then you're getting dressed in the dark. Word?
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Bet. Yeah, I used to be cool, but ever since the girls turned 13, the only thing that's cool about Dad is the stuff that he builds. So now I'm just extending that wall up, and because of that weird angle in our ceiling, it just made sense to nail one piece at a time instead of trying to build a wall on the floor and try to match up that angle. All right, so that is it for the framing. We're probably gonna have to wait a couple of months to get this thing wrapped up, but because of the beauty of TV and YouTube, in order to get a good grab from our concrete panels, I first need to sheathe our wall with 1/2-inch plywood. Then I can use my palm router with a flush trim bit on it and cut in all the openings, so the shelving down below and also the fireplace. Now we got a hole. And that is why we use screws and not true nails. All right, so our floors are all in, our walls are painted, and now it's time to start installing the concrete panels on the fireplace. Hey, podłoga do 16 jest, panie. Haha! At least our floor is straight. Nothing in this house has been straight so far, but our floor so far, perfect. Perfect. All right, here we go. So these are prefabbed architectural concrete overlay panels made by a company called Matte Concrete out of Canada. Since we started this renovation, I struggled with how we're gonna finish this fireplace with concrete. Do I stack real concrete panels? But I'm gonna be dealing with weight issues at that point. Do I float concrete over a wire mesh? But then I have design issues. It wasn't until we saw these panels at the builder show and I knew exactly how this is going to work. These are half-inch panels with a very thin layer of real concrete that cuts like butter with a high-tooth blade on a track saw. And to install them, you use a spin-on leveling system like you would with tile. Essentially, you have a base piece that sits behind both of the tiles, and when the spinner part is put on, it pulls it all tight, just like you see with this flooring example. It makes tiling and these panels Bart-proof. You can't mess it up. After cutting miters on both ends of the panel, I put a big blob of HD Max on the wall and placed the first panel in place and shoot 23 gauge pin nails through it. These pin nails are so small and the plywood has some texture to it that when you shoot it through, you can't even tell where that nail is. Then on the miters, I used DAP's concrete silicone on both sides and pushed them tight together before putting in a couple of pin nails through the corners on both ends. One thing that we did mess up on with our first panel is nailing it fully to the wall before putting it in place. The backing part of these spacers is 1/16 of an inch, and with the panel fully up against the plywood, there's no room to actually put it in. So we needed to use a couple of chisels to pull it off of the wall just enough where we can get that spacer into place. Okay, crisis averted. We're still good. Well, you gotta make sure you use a dirty rag or else it doesn't work. Has to be dirty. Brudny. Wow. You can see, and then up here is where we put a little bit of caulking. And down here, put a little bit more. Step back, can't even see it. All right, so we got a big old gap on this side right here, and we are completely tight up here. We're we're both kind of tight up in this area. So we did was we just made a little scribe. So it's a piece of 3/4 inch just cedar blocking I had laying around with a pencil tape to it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna scribe it up against the ceiling, and then we can cut off the access, and then theoretically it should fit perfect, but we're gonna have to slide it a little bit, so there might be some minor adjustments later, but we might get lucky. We might get lucky. All right, guys, so last night we were able to finish up the entire surround of that fireplace. And let me take you guys inside so you can see what it looks like, because it's absolutely spectacular. And I'm so excited how the DAP caulking came out on the corner. So check it out. It's absolutely stunning. So we ended up caulking down here with a little bit of DAP concrete caulk, and you can't even tell that that is a miter. I mean, it matches so well to this color of concrete that I'm just stunned. I thought there was gonna be a little bit of difference in color, but no, it is absolutely perfect. And these seams right here, we are gonna leave those. I think it gives the appearance of kind of like stacked concrete panels on top of each other. We were originally gonna caulk that with the same DAP concrete, but I think it looks just as good. All right, guys, so that is it for this fireplace. And I mean, look at it. It's amazing. This has to be one of my favorite projects that we have done so far in this house. I mean, we even ripped the second floor off just so we can vault these ceilings and have this be the showpiece on the first floor. We get more compliments and questions about it than anything else. Everyone always wants to know how we got the concrete on it because it just looks so good. If you guys are interested in learning more about the different textures and colors that Matte Concrete has, there's a link in the description below. And if you want the exact one that we have, it's called Vancouver Gray in a ply form finish. I'm also going to have a link to this specific fireplace. This is the Dimplex Evolve 60, and 60 is for how wide it goes. And I think it goes up to 75 or maybe even 90 inches. So they get pretty big. But we chose this one because we can run it during the summertime as just a showpiece, you know, and not have to turn on the heat. But in the wintertime, we can kick it up to 8,500 BTUs, which actually puts out quite a bit of heat. Thank you so much for joining me on this experience. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We had an absolute blast building this thing. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that ding, ding, ding bell notification so you don't miss upcoming videos and updates on the house. And that is it. See you guys next time.
Dude, I love Ultimate Warrior. You coming like this? Ultimate Warrior!
Died laughing.
Is that a grand size fireplace?
Yep.
Just don't break any windows.
Hey, I want to keep the fireplace.
No, under, roll under.
Oh, fat kid, little cart.
Dude.
Hey, what are you doing? Come here. You got the cold. Come on. She's got COVID and she still wants to work.